Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video, as you saw in the title, we are going to be reviewing Natasha Denona's Valentine's Day collection. She did a collection for Valentine's Day last year where she came out with the Love palette, and this year she decided to do a continuation of that collection. I was so excited to finally dig into these products. I wasn't home this weekend, and so I just could not wait to get here and finally get this video filmed and uploaded for you. That's why I'm a little bit late. I spent the weekend down in Miami visiting my family. I went to see my grandma and my dad and all of that, so that's why this video upload is a little bit late. I've had the palette since Saturday, but I just wasn't home. If you guys see this weird thing I'm wearing, my wrist hurts a lot, so I have it wrapped. But besides that, everything is good. I'm here, I'm back. I hope that you guys liked the video. In this video, not only will I be reviewing the collection and showing you how I used it, but I'm also going to show you 3 different looks with the mini Love palette from Natasha Denona. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed those. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, the launch of this collection was a little bit confusing. If you have more clarity and knowledge on what happened, let us know down in the comment section. I'll pin your comments because I'm a little confused by it and I honestly have not done much research. I think the collection was supposed to launch at a specific date, and then this British website leaked it early, and so after they took it down, then Natasha did an early release, 24 or 48 hours early access type thing. That's when I got my collection from the Natasha Denona website, and I'm not sure whether or not it launched anywhere else yet. I'm saying all that to just tell you guys that wherever it is available at this point in time that you're watching this video, just check the links down in the description box because I will have it linked down there. If it already launched, I'll probably have it listed from Sephora and Beautylish. Otherwise, it'll be from the Natasha Denona website if it's available. And if you don't see any links and it says coming soon or whatever, then that means you just have to wait a few more days and the collection will be out again. Anyways, let's go ahead and go through everything that I purchased. I did get the entire collection, which was 3 items. So the first item is the Mini Love eyeshadow palette. This one retails for $25. And it is 5 ultra pigmented pink and purple toned eyeshadows inspired by the Love eyeshadow palette with matte, metallic, and duochrome finishes. Here are the swatches of the palette in the back of my hand. Every shade felt absolutely pigmented and buttery and just delicious, so I could not wait to play with it. The second thing is the Love Cheek Duo, which retails for $42, and this one has amazing, sparkly, beautiful packaging, which I'm so glad that she brought back, because during last year's release, I loved the packaging of the Cheek palette, but I really did not like the Cheek palette at all, so I ended up returning it. So I'm really hoping that this time around I keep this one because I really love the packaging. This duo consists of the cream blush from the Diamond and Blush Glow palette in shade Daria, and then the new shade of the iconic highlighting impact powder, a warm pinkish chrome that shifts from pink to champagne. I have very high expectations for this highlighter. I'm really hoping I like it just as much as I like my I Need a Nude Glow highlighter. And these are the swatches of the blush and the highlighter together. And then last but not least, I also bought the I Need a Nude lipstick in the new shade 36 Neutral Pink Amorosa. It is a neutral pink undertone and it retails for $25. I really love how Natasha Denona lipsticks perform, and the swatch of this color looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, so those are all 3 products that I bought. We're going to move on to my 3 eye looks that I created for you with this palette, and then we'll try on the blush and highlighter duo, and of course the lipstick, which I know you've been seeing since you started the video, but just pretend to be surprised later, okay? Okay, so let's just go ahead and start with those eye looks. To begin the first look, I'm grabbing the color R in my Refer number 15 brush, and this is going to be my transition shade, so I'm placing it back and forth, doing windshield wiper motions on the crease of my eye. So just back and forth, and then we are going to blend out this upper edge we've created by doing little circles around the crease. Just like this, little circles all around, and that will help to blend out any edges. I didn't add any more product to the brush. This was just one dip. And as you can see, this color makes for a perfect transition shade. Back a second time with that same color, same brush. I'm just going to deepen up the crease of my eye a little bit now that I have diffused everything the way I want it to look. And this way I'm going to intensify the crease. Okay, so I'm all done with that color R. And with my Refer number 1 brush, I switched to the color My. And I'm going to start intensifying the outer corner of my eye with it. And I'm just tapping and swiping on the outer V of the eye. And very lightly blending that color into my crease color. Still using my Refer number 1. I'm going to do the little circles, but this time around the deeper shade to blend it into the lighter shade. So very light pressured little circles around whatever you want to blend. A little bit more of that color My, and I'm going to press it all over my eyelid. And I'm just patting that color on with my Refer number 1 brush. I want it to be nice and opaque and intense on my eyelid and then just diffused upwards. So with the tip of my number 1 brush, I'm making sure that it still blends into that crease color. Back with my Refer number 1, nothing added to it. I'm just going to make sure that my crease is nicely blended still. Alright, and just repeat all these steps as many times as you have to in order to get the final result that you want. I think I'm pretty content with the way it looks right now, so let me clean up underneath my eye. I put some moisturizer on this cotton and I'm just cleaning underneath. I'm going to go ahead and do my face makeup next, and I'll be right back to finish up the first look. Back with some makeup on, and with my number 14 brush from Refer, I'm going to use the color R, and I'm going to blend everything underneath the eye with it. Just swiping my brush back and forth and connecting it to the top of the eye right here at the end. This is going to be more of a very sultry, sexy, smoky eye. Then with my Refer number 13 brush and the color My, I'm going to intensify things very close to my lower lash line. I use my Fenty Cute Ting eyeliner in my waterline just to brighten up things a little bit right there. And lastly, with my Refer number 2 brush and the color True, we are going to do the inner corner of the eye. Just brighten up everything. And I'm going to blend it in a little bit at the beginning of the eyelid here. Okay, and this is what things are looking like for look number 1. Nice, sultry, smoky, dark, and romantic all at the same time. Let me show you what it would look like with some mascara on. Alright, so this is look number 1 with just mascara on. I really love how everything turned out. It's really dark and sultry. I think that Cute Ting eyeliner from Fenty is perfect for this look in the waterline. I immediately thought of that eyeliner when I opened the palette because I knew that it would be perfect for looks with this one. And yeah, I'm not going to do falsies or anything because I think that my Pat McGrath mascara did me justice today. I think I built it up so that my lashes looked really nice and long. I don't feel like I need to do lashes or anything. So yeah, this right here is look number 1, and let's go ahead and move on to the second look with this palette. Okay, I'm back, and let's go ahead and start with the second look. I'm going to start it the same way as I did the first with the color R, and I am once again with my number 15 brush from Refer, swiping that color back and forth to blend it on the crease of my eye. This is the only color in this palette that we can use as a transition shade, so we're going to use it the same way every time. I'm just once again doing some windshield wiper motions with it, some circles around the edges, etc. Look number 2 is going to be a little lighter than the first one we created, so what I'm doing now is just intensifying my outer corner with that same color R. I just want things a little bit darker back here, but I don't want to use the color My. So since that color is so multi-use, you can build it up and have it nice and intense, or you can blend it to be your transition color. We're just going to intensify it on the outer corner of the eye ever so slightly. With my Refer number 2 brush and the color Love, I'm going to start patting that color all over my eyelid. My right eye crease is a little bit too low right here, so I like to go above that crease just to where my eyeball ends up here, and that is what I consider my eyelid, not just this space down here. So if you have smaller or hooded eyes, I recommend you do the same. Take the space that your eyeball takes. See, my eyeball ends up here, so that's where I take my eyeshadow. Don't just finish where your eye creases. I'm going to go over it with the color U, which is just going to add an extra layer of like sparkle to the eyelid. Alright, and this is going to be the top of the second look. Let me just do my face makeup and I'll be right back to finish it up. I'm back and let's go ahead and do the under eyes. I have the color R on my reference number 13 and I'm just going to back and forth swipe it underneath my eye. Make it meet with the outer corner color and just back and forth, blend it all in. And make sure that you don't have harsh edges. I'm going to use my Fenty eyeliner for my waterline again. This is in the color Cute Tang. And last but not least, with my reference number 2 brush and the color True, we are going to do the inner corner. So just pat that color in the inner corner and blend it in. Alright, so this nice and light little romantic look is look number 2. Let me go ahead and do my mascara and I'll be right back to show you the final look. I'm back and this right here is the second look. A little bit smudged with mascara. I did my best to try and take it off. So if you see anything a little weird, it's because I didn't do a good job at taking my mascara smudges off. Anyways, this look is much lighter but still really nice and cute. I realized that my Cuting eyeliner from Fenty is now 1 year old, which is crazy because it still performs like the first day. I have had it for a whole year already and I absolutely love it every time I use it. It is my go-to eyeliner for whenever I do any looks that are even like remotely pink. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. Let's move on to the third and last look. Okay, I started look number 3 the same way I started looks 1 and 2 with the color R, just blended on the crease, windshield wiper motions, diffuse the crease as much as I could. And so I just have this nice base shade all over the crease of my eye. I built up the outer corner a little more. Again, just like I did for looks 1 and 2. So let's move on to the second step, and that is with the color My on my reference number 1 brush, and I'm going to pat it on this outer corner of my eye, and I'm pointing the brush towards the corner of my eyebrow, and I'm patting that color in place right there. And I'm going to start building it into the crease of my eye by doing little circles around any edges that I created. Make sure you always use very light pressure on your brush because that is the easiest way that you're going to be able to diffuse or blend your shades into one another. And back here, I'm just going to flick upwards towards the color we had on the crease. If you need to, go back to your number 15 brush and just make sure everything looks nice and blended on the crease of your eye. And make sure that the eyelid is pretty nice and opaque with that color My. I'm also going to add it to the inner corner of the eye. We're going to do a halo eye. The inner corner, for some reason, is always just easier to blend. So we're just going to do little circles to blend it up here and have a nice and opaque inner corner shade. Notice how I also have my brush at an angle towards the inner part of my eyebrow this time. Next, I have my reference number 2 brush with the color U, and I'm going to start tapping that sheer shimmery shade on the center of my eyelid. Just tap, tap, tap it, and you'll be avoiding fallout and building up that shade. If you need to, you can also use your finger to intensify, and it'll be a little bit faster than building it up a lot. I just like to be a little bit more precise with my brush, but either one will work. So this is the top of the third look right here. I'm going to once again do my face makeup and I'll be right back to finish it up. Back with some makeup on, and with the color R, I am diffusing the under eye area of my eye, just back and forth, making it mix with the colors back here, just like this. With the tip of my number 2 brush and the color U, I'm going to tap and swipe right in the center of my under eye. And then with my number 3 brush and the color My, I'm going to do the outer and inner third of my under eye, just to darken things up, just like we did at the top. Lastly, with my number 2 brush and the color True, we're going to do the inner corner of the eye. And this completes our third and final look. Let me go ahead and do my mascara, and I'll be right back to show you the final results. Okay, I'm back with mascara on, and this is the final third look. I love halo eyes. I always leave them for last because they're my favorite look to do. And so obviously I absolutely adore the way that this turned out. I forgot to mention that I put the Q-Ting eyeliner in my waterline once again for this look, so that is what you see right there. And then the mascara I've been using throughout this whole video is the Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara, which is my absolute favorite mascara ever. Everything I use is of course going to be linked down below, so make sure that you check out those products if you want to purchase anything, because I have everything linked down there. So yeah, check it out. This is the third and final look. Actually, go ahead and comment down below which look was your favorite one. Was it 1, 2, or 3? Let me know. I think my favorite one is number 3 for sure, but I like them all. I'm back, and I really hope that you guys like the eye look. So now let's finally go ahead and try this blush and highlighter. So I'm going to use my beauty blender for the blush part. This is the beauty blender that I applied my foundation with, so I'm just going to use the booty of my beauty blender, and I'm going to softly, oh my god, that's a lot of color. Okay, I'm going to softly distribute is what I'm going to do. That is still a lot of color. Okay, I'm freaking out and blending all at the same time. That is much better. Before I put on the blush, I applied my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, which is my favorite and I love it. But I'm thinking I should have applied the blush first. I don't know, I never know what to do with cream blushes and powder bronzers. Like, what do you apply first? Because I've applied the blush first and the bronzer second, and I've had things look muddy. But now that I applied the bronzer first and the blush second, it took my bronzer away. Maybe I just need to do a combo. Like when I applied the bronzer and it looked muddy, I went over it with the blush again. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the bronzer. I'm just going to go over it. And I use my Refer number 25 brush for the bronzer. Okay, so this is the blush applied after I blended it out and retouched my bronzer and all of that. I like it. I'm just not much of a blush person. Like, I like my blushes subtle. So when I first saw how like intense this looked, I was freaking out a little bit, but this is much nicer. I do like it, and I'm super excited to try this highlighter because the I Need a Nude Glow highlighter from Natasha Denona is like my absolute favorite highlighter in the whole wide world. I love it, so I'm hoping that I'll really like this one, and then I can just have a pinkier version of it. Okay, so let me go ahead and apply it here. This does have that same beautiful buttery formula that the I Need a Nude Glow highlighter has, so instant favorite because it's just a new color of it, and I'm obsessed with this highlighter formula. Ooh, yeah. Just look how pretty that looks. I'm going to do a little right here, a little here and here. So freaking beautiful. This is what I was hoping for in this highlight. I really love the way that looks. It doesn't enhance my texture. Just already obsessed with that. The blush, just I need to use it very sparingly because it was a bit intense at first, but after I blended it out, I like it as well. It's just always weird to do first impressions because you never know how a product is going to apply. But after I blended it, it looks really nice. And the highlighter I'm absolutely obsessed with. I can already tell you that I recommend this blush and highlighter duo just for the highlighter alone. I think it's worth it. So good. Before I apply the lipstick, I'm going to apply my Natasha Denona lip liner in the color Ilona. I absolutely love this nude shade, and I think it's going to go really well with the lipstick. Okay, the lips are lined. Let's try this beautiful nude lipstick in the color Amorosa. Oh my god, this is perfection. This is the Natasha Denona nude lipstick I had been waiting for. This is so good. Let me show you it in comparison to the Andrea lipstick, because the Andrea lipstick is a very nice one and I do like it, but it can sometimes be a little bit too like honey-like, like a little bit too yellow. And this one just has a bit of a hint of pink added to it. and it is absolute perfection. So I have the Andrea lipstick on top and the Amorosa lipstick at the bottom. And as you can see, the little bit of a hint of pink that she added to this one just makes it glorious. So happy with my purchase, so happy with this collection in general. I had the feeling that I was going to really like it, but I truly think that it performed better than I ever imagined it performing. I absolutely love every single eye look I created. The blush is the only thing that like scared me a little bit at first, but again, now that it's blended out, I really like it too. The highlighter is to die for. This lipstick is glorious, so absolutely love this whole Valentine's Day collection from Natasha Denona, and I 100% recommend it to you guys. I have my Natasha Denona Love palette right here next to me, and I want to check whether or not the shades in the new palette are similar enough to any of the shades in this one. Alright, here's them together, and while they absolutely have similar vibes, there's only one color that I think looks like one another, and that is the color Giving from the Love palette and the color You from this one. Okay, and this is what they look like next to one another. Very, very similar vibes, slightly different undertones to them. Besides that one, everything is different between the two palettes. And I think I have a confession to make. If you watch my Natasha Denona rankings video, you know that the Love palette from last year is not my favorite Natasha Denona palette. Is pretty towards the end in my ranking, and I honestly think that taking into consideration what the prices of these two are, the amount of looks that you can get with each one of these, and just like the overall differences, the fact that this one has more shades and whatnot, I prefer the mini palette, because I feel like personally these are exactly the types of shades from this palette that I like to reach for. This is like my favorite thing about this one in like a small little more compact tiny palette. I definitely see myself reaching for this palette a lot, and I rarely ever reach for my big Love palette. I don't love the purples and the reds in this one, and so I feel like the colors that I like from this one are the colors that have very similar vibes to this mini Love palette. And so that is why I think that I actually prefer the mini one versus the big one. I hope I made sense. I'm not sure if I explained that correctly. For the price, and I know that it has less amounts of looks that I can get with this one, but they're like my favorite types of looks, so I just think that this one is more suited for me personally. I like it better. I don't know, I really like and recommend it. I think that this collection is an absolute hit from Natasha Denona. Absolutely loved every single thing that I tried. 2 huge thumbs up for me. Everything is linked down below, so if you are going to go for it, please shop through my links, and that helps out my channel. Besides that, I don't have anything else to say. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you like all 3 looks that I did for you. Let me know which one was your favorite, and I hope that you come back for the next video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.